Yo, what's up everyone? It's your boy Golden Fantasy, and today is a different video. Instead of doing like my story times that I told you guys I was gonna do right away, I got something a little different because today is not just a story time. This is a legit story. My 7th grade book. This is not gonna be good. Just telling you, my grammar is terrible back in the day, and my story writing was so crap. I'm more of a person that writes news articles, not like writes a whole own book. So, here we go. So, my book is titled The Adventures of the Burrito Store. And this starts something that this is the origins of a wrestling character me and Jacob made up way back in 2015 and 2016, the year that this book was written. I made a character in wrestling that me and Jacob like to play around with, and this character has been in so many memes. We used her for so many memes, and that character is Tomato. And Jacob, if you're watching this, shout out to you. We both started memes. This book right here started it all. And it even has a picture of me saying eat more burritos and A113 reference. I don't know why. But here we go. Time to read The Adventures of the Burrito Store by me. Dedicated to Adina. I don't know what I was doing. Okay. Alright. There once was a robot man named Jefflin who lived on the planet Saturn, and he was trying to save the planet Earth and his friend Tomato. Tomato was trying to save herself, but she was stuck inside of her house in Puerto Rico. Jefflin was on a mission to save her and the Earth from climate change. The climate change was setting things on fire. This was causing 45% of the Earth's population to die of heat stroke. The people were trying to make homemade rockets, but they kept failing at it. Jefflin had finally flew to Earth with his rocket to make trips back and forth from the Earth and Saturn. The problem with Saturn is its surface is made out of air. Oh no duh! Okay. Jefflin had to think for an hour. Jefflin did not have any ideas. Tomato had an idea to move each sector of people to Titan, one of Saturn's moons. Another idea was discovered when they can also move some people to Mars as well. Or all this could happen, they would have to build a lot of rockets at Kennedy Space Center and move them to the launch pad. Kennedy Space Center. Oh my gosh, I'm getting technical. I'm telling you. 8th grade me. Look at that drawing. That is so accurate. That is so accurate, though. That's literally almost exactly what a wrestling character looks like. This origin story, though. Tomato's dad, Pete, was building all of the rockets as fast as he can. The machine was too slow to move all of those rockets to the launch pad, so they had to build them on top of the launch pad. The progress was great, and everyone was helping each other out with the process, and they were launching the rockets every 3 seconds. The rockets were heading to Titan and Mars. It was getting to be a problem. Titan and Mars were packed, and they needed a place to stay. Come on, Paige. Jefflin had to fit some people into his house because his house is a state long. His house was a success because it was huge. Tomato brought all the food and Jefflin brought all the water. They were going to make some slight climate changes on Titan. 3 hours later, they made it so people can breathe and people don't have to wear spacesuits all the time on Titan and Mars. They had to go meet with Jefflin's brother, Ferdinand, to install the houses and garages. Garages? Why cars. Oh my gosh, my logic back in 7th grade. They're also going to make trips from Mars to Titan so they can inspect the area and make sure things were set for living. The first thing they had to do is make sure the climate changes and people were breathing oxygen. The second thing they had to do is make sure houses were built and garages too. Again, why do I repeat sentences? Okay, I'm not gonna question that. I'm just gonna keep it to the memes. The third and final thing is that they have to make sure people were not left behind. Everything was complete and we're good to go. After a few weeks later, everything was like home away from home on both planets, and we even have wind electricity on each planet. Tomato questioned Ferdinand to build a burrito store. Oh my gosh! Here we go with the burrito stuff. Ferdinand said yes, and they were gonna get the parts already. The store was finally built in 2 weeks, and they had made the prize-winning burritos as well. What am I doing back in the day? Okay, anyways. Everybody was coming in Tomato's store to buy burritos. And it was great until they ran out of the ingredients to make the prize-winning burritos. They had to go to Tomato's burrito factory. They went to the burrito factory and it stank. They picked up the burrito ingredients. There was a very, very bad stench coming from the factory. There was a way to stop the smell, and that way was Lysol. They cannot burn candles because the stench would set it on fire. The Lysol store was all the way in the China sector of Titan. Oh man. It would take days to get there, and by then the place would reek of beans. They need to have a rocket to transport them, but all of the spaceships were scrapped. They would have to mine some iron, but that could take years. They could also go to the dump and get some steel from the dump. They found a tiny bit of steel at the dump. So that is good, but they need a lot of steel to build the rockets. Okay, I need a period there. Sorry, I'm a stickler now. They completely forgot about the foundry because they probably have a lot of steel there. They were right because there was a lot of steel in the foundry and they can make rockets to get the Lysol in Sector China. They used the crane to get the pieces together because it went faster. They had some leftover rocket fuel and they can get there safely. They have journeyed safely to Sector China, and now they can successfully get the Lysol and go back to the burrito factory and get there quick. Because they have leftover rocket fuel to use, and they have enough to go around the world once, and that is a very good thing because to go back to the factory, it can go back to the factory easily. Tomato called the company on her watch, and they were having huge troubles at the place. The place was going through a global warming process because the people were eating too many of the beans. Okay, how's the global warming happening? Are they farting too much? Okay, they had to use all the fuel they could get to get there quick. They used the hyperspeed mode and they came to spray the Lysol in the building. The building was sprayed down with the Lysol, and they had a lot more to do at the burrito store. The burrito store had planned something for Tomato and Jefflin, and it was big. The citizens said to them to close their eyes for the surprise. They opened their eyes and they saw a bigger burrito store. Ta-da! And it was as big as a medium-sized town. This was like a small empire for them. They would not have to go to that stinky old factory because the place had a new one built inside of it. The place was getting packed with people and they could start the business again. This time everyone from around the world came to eat the prize-winning burritos, and it was crazy. The people wanted everybody to know about it, so they made Tomato and Jefflin a commercial. They were getting a commercial that has an old man dying for burritos. This commercial was hilarious, and Tomato and Jefflin fell out of their chair laughing. This was probably going to be the best in the whole universe. All they had to do is ask the mayor for permission, and then they can send it. They went to the mayor's office, and the mayor said absolutely, because it was the funniest ever. The commercial was in fact going on the news, and it was a museum for the commercial of all time. This was a big success for the company. Today, they were working at the factory, and they met a new employee for the job. This employee was a great cook and can help Tomato with burritos. Tomato was excited, and she was jumping with joy. The new employee's name was Jack Callahan, and he was going to be there for 24 hours a day. Jack went to Sector China as well for his job. Tomato was going to hire more people to work at the store. This was going to be terrible because a lot of people wanted to do it, and it was crazy. Tomato opened up a few new restaurants around the world, and that will help the people with the burrito stores, and they used the same exact recipe for the burritos. Well, of course, there's multiple stores, so what's the point of putting that in a sentence? Okay. Everything at the burrito factory was great. They threw a big Mexican fiesta to honor the heroes and most of their work. Their picture is going to be on a statue in Town Hall. They did forget one thing, though. That one thing is the burrito villains. The burrito villains were after the prize-winning burritos and that Tomato and Jefflin sell. The villains' names are Cheese Squeak and Quackers and Dust Mite. The police were looking for Dust Mite and the thing he had stolen. Before this can happen, the authorities will have to catch Cheese Squeak and Quackers first. The problem is they have clairvoyance powers. These powers are like telekinesis, and so the authorities will have to hide. Their hiding spot was inside of a crater. The crater was tiny, and they could not find the authorities in there. This could not happen forever because they could sense people eventually. The authorities moved to another crater that is bigger than the last one. This cause will make it easier to find them, and that is a problem. Okay, my grammar's bad there. They had to move back to the other crater before the criminals can find them. They would have to wait for an hour to get past Cheese Squeak and Quackers. Finally, an hour has passed, and the authorities can pass. They can trap Quackers and Cheese Squeak, and it'll be a breeze. The authorities got caught by Cheese Squeak and Quackers, and they flew into a UFO all the way to the lair. Inside the lair, it was crazy. The burritos were in a big pile next to the safe in the lair. The authorities were held as prisoner for nothing. Officer Pete forgot he had a laser pin in his pocket and he could use it to get out and jam the engine. Eventually, the authorities jammed the engine and took the villains to maximum security and kept them in there for life. The authorities came home and Tamara and Jefflin and Jack Callahan threw a surprise party for them. They gave out free burritos to everyone. Everything was back to normal again, and it was great for good this time. Jefflin sold out his old house for $1 quintillion to a very rich person. Jefflin moved into a cheaper house near the factory. His new house was near Jack's house. They all work at the factory happily ever after the end. What was I thinking? I'm sorry, I like the book, it's just the book was I'm sorry, that was funny though, the Lysol part. Okay, looks like our gassy old tomato there was farting all over the place, according to this. I had dirty humor back in the day. Well, I still do, just not as bad. But still, that's the end of this story time. If you want to see more story times, like my story times that like real life story times, and not the and also the book every once in a while, please leave a comment down below saying that you want more. And I'm also gonna start uploading the true story times, where I do like gameplay videos in the background and then I'm commentating over them. You know what I mean. But anyways, hopefully see you soon. Peace out. Check out all my friends. Down on my channel, go to my my friends and squad, and then check out all the people here. Anyways, see you next time. Peace out, and see you next one.